Hello everybody, welcome to the Political Vigilante. My name is Graham Elwood. You're inside the new studio. I was like, I want to do a test, but no, I want to make a video and send it to you guys. There's still some stuff I got to do. I got to get an anti-glare screen. I need a little desk here. Right now I'm sort of holding my laptop in my hand, but I just wanted to do a video. One, I missed doing this. Two, I wanted to give you a little taste. Let me know what you think of the lighting and the sound and everything in the comments below. I also wanted to let you know, Seattle, I am coming to do 2 shows, August 9th and 11th. August 9th, it's a Thursday night. It's a late show, 9:30. I'm doing Political Vigilante live at the Jewel Box in the Rendezvous. August 11th, I'm doing stand-up comedy. It's me and Mike Schmidt, very funny guy, has the 40-Year-Old Boy podcast, longtime friend of mine. We're each going to do separate 45-minute sets, kind of like Ron Placone and I, well, almost exactly like Ron Placone and I did for the Progressive Comedy Tour. So Seattle, August 9th and 11th. Get your tickets now. The Jewel Box, the Rendezvous, is not a huge venue, so might sell out. So hurry up and get your tickets. And the more tickets, I sell on the road, the more it makes sense financially for me to do more shows on the road. But I also wanted to do this video because there's too many stories I want to talk about what's going on. So there was this article that came out in Business Insider, I believe, and Yahoo picked it up. It just came out. Accidents at Amazon, workers left to suffer after warehouse injuries. And it is just astounding to me. Jeff Bezos is the richest human being in the history of mankind. And this is what is happening. There's a whole long story. It's unbelievable. And it actually goes into some actual people, and they tell their story. They got injured. They were fired because they were going to file claims and all this other stuff. It's unbelievable. This company is massive. It is worth so much money. Amazon makes so much money. And I'm sure some of you use Amazon. I've used Amazon. I have an Amazon affiliate link in the show notes. And some of you have said, well, Graham, do you feel bad? Is that hypocritical? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. My point is, Jeff Bezos is the real issue here. You want to stop using Amazon because you don't want to support this guy? I totally get it. Some of you are like, I don't want to watch you on Google, on YouTube because Google owns it. You know what? The show is dropping on Dailymotion, which is a company out of France. They're not owned by some big conglomerate as far as I know. If they get big, I'm sure someone will try to buy them out. But the point here is the richest man in the history of the world is doing stuff like this. Amazon is now the world's most valuable retailer. Its customers are served by over 140 fulfillment centers like the one where Alan, this gentleman mentioned in the article, works across the U.S. The revenues from these centers have made founder Jeff Bezos the world's richest man. Bezos' net worth recently crossed $150 billion. Do you know what would happen if he just gave up one of his $1 billion and gave all of his employees pay raises and health benefits and stuff like that? He would only be able to live on $149 billion. I don't know how he can do it. I mean, polo horses don't feed themselves. Let's not be jackasses about this. $150 billion. If he cut that in half, he would still, again, be barely getting by on $75 billion. The average salary in America is about $44 grand before taxes. This is according to Bloomberg Billionaires Index. I'm glad we have a Billionaires Index. Definitely have a Billionaires Index. Don't have an index like how many cities have contaminated water. It's not just Flint, by the way, whose water is still contaminated. He could fix Flint's water problem. He could. Jeff Bezos could. He could give, Bernie Sanders said it was about $80 billion to let everybody go to college for free. He could make sure everybody goes to college for free. And yet his employees are going through stuff like this. At an Amazon fulfillment center in Pennsylvania, one former employee was fired 5 weeks after getting injured on the job. I was on a ladder and someone came flying into the area I was in, hit the ladder, causing me to fall, and I landed on my back and left leg, said Christina Miano Wilburn. Her back is permanently injured from the incident. They refused to give me the paperwork for workman's comp. They refused to give her the paperwork to fill out workman's comp. This is the definition of you need workman's comp. A work-related injury. She wasn't being reckless or silly or dumb. Somebody caused her injury. They cut my short-term disability after 5 weeks. I was supposed to get it for 26 weeks. Permanent injury at the workplace, and the company that the guy is worth $150 billion. So that's what's going on. Folks, if somebody gave me $1 million, this studio would be even nicer. And maybe I could afford a bigger font. I know I got to make the font bigger. I'm working on Keynote, but I'm putting this video out there because I just want to put some videos out there, and I'm going to keep tweaking this and making it better and better. But I wanted to show you this is what it's going to look like, kids. Big fancy studio, and we're going after the good people like Jeff Bezos. I know a lot of people that work for him. I have good friends that worked at Amazon. I don't begrudge them. I don't begrudge someone for taking a job because they need to pay their bills. I begrudge people that are listed in the Bloomberg Billionaire Index for not letting their own, and this is, you know, this comes from the top. This has got to be like, don't pay out, don't pay out. That's why I've got 150 billion. Oh man. They've done studies that they're like, does money buy happiness? They did some studies. Up to about $100,000, $150,000, depending on this, where you live, the cost of living. If you live in New York or Los Angeles or a place like that where the cost of living is higher, it's about 150 grand. Other places it's about 100 grand. It does increase your happiness. Because if you're making 40 grand a year and suddenly you make 90 or 100 grand a year, that does actually increase your happiness. I've gone through that myself. I've had years where I made 30, 40 grand, and then I've made a little more than that. It's like, oh wow, there's a little less stress. But after you get past about 150 grand, it doesn't buy you more happiness, because once you have all your bills paid and you got a nice retirement plan, you got a nice comfortable life, then you're just buying stuff. I got a nice new car. Oh, I got to get a bigger car. Or I got to get a second car or a third car. I need a vacation home. None of that stuff makes you happier. So what do you need, Jeff Bezos? What do you need? So thank you so much for supporting the show. Make sure you're subscribing, because YouTube is unsubscribing people. Even if you've subscribed numerous times before, we stopped at 9,600 all of a sudden. We've been at 9,600 for a month. That's not how it works. So share the videos, like them, go to the Patreon. Now I got this up, I can start doing more stuff for the Patreon folks. But thank you for watching the show. And Seattle, August 9th and 11th. We're all going to make Gotham great again.